Welcome to Comet Computer Private Limited, e-learning program of hardware networking. We are going to see about security policy management in Windows 10. So what is a security policy? Before that, we should understand what is a group policy. Group policy is a added feature of Microsoft Windows NT family. It's there from beginning of the operating system, like Windows 7, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, and in servers we follow a lot of group policy structure, and it is there in the server environment. So this group policy is a kind of restriction, management of users, management of their permissions. It will be configured in the group policy for the operating system. So whenever the user is logging in, the environment will be set as per the group policy, like a password length, then log on attempt, and there are a lot of audit related changes. So everything we can do it via group policy. So why we have to go for group policy is we have to restrict the users in the organizations. Otherwise, there won't be any controls for the users. Like uh, we are we are setting the policy, HR policy, like password should not be shared with anyone, and password length should be minimum 8 characters. So we are saying kind of mail instructions, right? But after reading the mail, the user will go and set the password for a length of 5 characters. So it can be easily broken, and it is vulnerable in network. So that's the reason we set the minimum standard as 8 characters. Now, instead of sending only mails, if I configure this in the policy, he cannot create any password less than 8 characters. He has to mandatorily create a password with 3 characters. Also, we'll set the policy like he cannot set last three passwords. Password history will be maintained. So he cannot set last three passwords, whatever he has set. It has to be a fresh password. Nothing one. Another thing is that after 30 days or 60 days, the password should be changed. So if at all we are giving mail instructions or the policy guidelines, nobody will listen. It is very hard to make them to follow, right? So once I configure the group policy, everything will be set. So after 30 days or 60 days, whatever I set, the user have to change the password, and that should not be the last three password. It should be a new password. So once I go for fifth or sixth, then I can choose the first password, so I can rotate it. Otherwise, I'll have to go for setting up a new password. So all these things is done for ensuring that the user's desktop environment is safe, and it is not possible to unlock. So configuring all these kind of restrictions and enabling users with secured environment is called group policy. So we are going to enforce some of these kind of conditions to all the users in the network. Okay, so we are working in the work group environment, right? So this particular thing is going to tell about implementing in a single system. It is not for domain based, because all that we are studying about individual desktops, at least to a work group level networking we are seeing. So we are not going to discuss about the domain based group policy. We are going to discuss about individual computer based group policy. So what is the difference here is, so whatever restrictions you wanted to set, you have to log in to the desktops, individual desktops locally, and create all these policies one by one. So whichever user is logging into that computer, they will be implemented with that policy. So if I have 50 systems in my office, so all to that 50 systems I have to log in and do that kind of configuration settings, so that any user logging into the 50 systems, he will be having the same kind of policies. So here user data is localized. So if I create user one in first machine, I should not create the same user one in other 20th machine. So it should be a different account. Based on the username, we are going to create account. So they have to log in to that specific desktop. They cannot use alternate desktops. In case I have a domain-based setup for 50 systems also, so user can log into any desktop. He or she will get the same kind of restrictions whatever he had it in the previous desktop, because domain, so we have a domain controller where the group policies are stored. When the user is logged in, it is getting downloaded from the domain controller. Whatever settings we are setting, it will get applied to the user while logging in. So that is a difference between work group policy and a domain-based group policy. So how we can achieve this is we have a console for doing this activity. MSC is the Microsoft System Console. So for this purpose alone, we have something called gpedit, gpedit.msc. So in Windows 10 Home Edition, this command will not work by default. So we have to add the program and enable it so that we can use it in Windows 10 Home Edition also. Otherwise, in the advanced versions, Enterprise Editions, it is available. Mostly, these kind of things will not be implemented for lab purpose or school or colleges, right? Only in the organization level they will plan to implement, but otherwise it will be used only in the domain based. So, for the benefit of normal users or desktop administrators, how this policy is working. So, we'll go through the policy and what is there, and we can see how to set the policies in the desktops. It will be for learning to get into the next level. Like if you go through the server platforms, MCSC, certifications and all, definitely there is a server available, Active Directory server, where we are going to set the policy for the entire organization. So to do that, we should understand main parameters. So whatever you are going to see here, it will be like a platform for you to learn more from the server platform. So let us get into group policy. So how you can open the group policies, press Windows key and X. So you'll get the menu from the start menu. So open the command prompt and type gpedit. So we should get open the local group policy editor. The second option is go to run Windows key plus R, type gpedit.msc, and you'll be prompted for a UAC. UAC means user access control. You have to say accepted and then you can proceed. So this will open on the console. Otherwise, third option is you can just open Windows key plus R, control panel, Windows key plus R, then quick access menu. You can type control panel, and from that you can open edit group policy, and your group policy will get open. So when you are typing this option and you are saying the group policy is not available, gpedit is not enabled, and that too it is a home edition. So what we have to do, we'll have to install a, gpedit program from internet, and then only it will get open. So what software we have to download is gpedit enabler for Windows 10 Home Edition. So you have to download that script. This is a PowerShell script, so you can download it, right click on it, and run as administrator. So it will take you through administrator mode because normal users will not have permission. So run it as an administrator. So the script will get automatically extracted and installed. Normally, the restart is not required for running the script, but general cases, any kind of implementation of group policy, for doing it quickly, we'll go for rebooting. Normally, it takes 5 minutes to 15 minutes time based on the network size. So, if at all I wanted to see the result immediately, I'll go for restarting the computer. But otherwise, here this installation doesn't require any installation, any restart. Um, if it demands, then go for a restart. Always Microsoft, a lot of problems getting resolved by restarting the computer. So there are some third-party tools available. One example is Group Policy Editor for Windows 10. It's a Policy Plus. So that program is giving you a same kind of window what you see from Windows default gpedit.msc. So it makes easier for you to work in this tool and put some policies for the end users. So now we'll see a demo how to extract and how to open the console. We'll just go through some of the policies. It will be useful for you to understand and do it for servers in future. Just opening the demo. So I'm trying to type gpedit.msc. I'm getting the error. because it's a Windows 10 Home Edition. I don't have gpedit.msc. Just confirming it is a Home Edition. Hmm. It is a Windows 10 Home Edition. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to download a gpedit software from internet. So it is available from multiple websites. Wherever it is possible, you can download it. So once the file is downloaded, you'll have to run it as an administrator. So I'm getting the error because I just run it as a normal user. So if you run it as normal user, you will not be able to run it because that requires a administrator privilege. So now I will go to the folder where I have downloaded the software. It is there in Windows 10 downloads. Now I'll do right click, run as administrator. So run the program. So it will get executed automatically, and we'll have to go for completing it with this window. So it will get extracted and running the program, whatever is required for enabling the GPU edit. So now GPU edit is completed. You can run the command gpedit.msc. You should get the user console, GPU edit console for this command. Takes time because it's the first time it is running the console. It has to collect the basic details about the system and other parameters which is running. So there are two configurations available, computer configuration and user configuration. So you can set the policies for computers separately and for users separately. So in case of domain, right, so some of the policies will set for computer IDs. So when the computer logs in, based on the computer policy, it will get applied. And most of the time, we will be using the user configurations. So we wanted to set some of the user related parameters, and that will be executed for all the systems. So under computer configuration, security settings, account policies. So we are seeing that maximum password is 42 days. Everything we can change as per our organization requirement. Normally, a security team will be available for each organization. They will give the guidelines. So based on which we can configure that in the desktop or laptop. So we can change it. It will allow you to change. What I'm doing is password history. I'm just choosing three. We can select more also. And password age. Normally it will be 30 days or 60 days. Okay. So after 60 days, you have to change the password, and 90 days also is fine. Mm, Other major organizations are going with 90 days. Password length, as of now, it is 0 characters. Just setting it as 8 characters. So you have to create a password with 8 characters. If you keep it with less than 8, it will not allow. So for better security, I'm just choosing 12 characters. Complexity. So you should be alphanumeral, special character should be available. So if you are not just giving only small letters, it will not accept. If you are giving just only capital letter, it will not accept. Numbers alone, it will not accept. So it should be a combination of all the digits. Account lockout policies. So it will wait for your wrong attempt. So whatever number of times you are setting, it will take effect. So I'm normally we'll set 3. So if you are not able to log in with your user ID and password with 3 attempts, the account will get locked. The user cannot log in by any method if the account is locked. So he has to contact the administrator and unlock the ID, then only they can log into the system. So once you set this policy, all the other policy will take effect. 30 minutes. So account lockout duration is 30 minutes. Reset account lockout after counter is 30 minutes. So once the account is locked, um, you can try only after 30 minutes. Even if you try immediately after the account is locked, it will not work. It will not allow you to do it. So after 30 minutes only you can try another 3 attempts. So that is how the policy is defined here. Audit policy, this is for enabling in the server um, and to verify that who is using what. So that kind of tracking can be done by using the audit policy. We can get through this data in the event management. So there the audit logs will be stored in a separate entity, so we can go through it. Some of the important options we'll just show it to you. But server side, when you are reading about the servers, you should be very careful and read maximum parameters from this particular menu. Allow log on locally, so users are allowed to log on locally. Allow log on through remote desktops. If I'm not giving this for administrators, nobody can log into my computer from remote. So those options are very important. For emergency purpose, you wanted to do some activity in the system, so you take remote of your desktop and running the program, right? So if I'm not giving this permission, you'll not be able to run it from remote. Log on as a service for running some automation batch files. We choose this option, log on as a service. So we create a service account and assign it to the application. So it will run as long as the service account is available. Because if I assign a normal user account, user may come and go, but the application should run, right? So we create a separate account called as a service account. Guest account is always disabled and administrator account should be renamed always. So these are the basic criteria we are discussing. Normally, the default name of administrator is administrator. We used to rename that administrator into some other name, okay? So that some hacking programs, if it is running, so it cannot identify who is administrator. So those programs will take the administrator login and run the program so that it will get gain the full access to the desktop which you are using. So that is very risk. Prompt user for change the passwords 5 days before. So normally we are setting 90 days here. So when you are reaching 85 days, it will start prompting you daily basis that the password will expire in 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, 1 days, and today. So it will start giving you the reminder. So taking that reminder, at least you have to go and change the password. So what we are seeing is we are asking you to change it every 30 days, but here in this example, we have configured for 90 days. So user settings also more or less same. Um, so here we'll see administrative templates. So some of the important options, control panel, desktop. So what is need to be available in the desktop, that options given here. So you can also go through the policy one by one and read through the important things. So this is a system policy. So there are a lot of options. Control all delete options. We have display options, driver installation. Software settings, no settings as of now. So again, Windows settings, name resolution, scripts. So any logon scripts available, we'll put it in the scripts option so that whenever user is logging in, they'll be able to run the script. Yeah, we have completed the demo. So we have just gone through the policies related things. So normally for desktop users, this is not required, but to give you some hint or some knowledge to build your server knowledge, we can use this particular platform. So after this, some of the questions related with the group policy, we have formed it for giving you some interview tips and exam preparations. Why should we use group policy? For deploying software, for applying some security, for controlling users' environment settings, group policy configurations. So we are going for group policy. Ultimately, the group policy changes are taking effect in the registry. So going and changing the registry, it will be difficult for many people, and we may not know the deeper level of registry changes, right? Changing the value to 0, 1, some 00x. We are not sure about the value. So to make it simple only, Microsoft have created the group policy console. So whatever you make a changes here, that will get affected in the registry only. What is a group policy object? This is a container and it is creating a policy template. So GPO, we call it as a GPO, group policy object. Group policy container. This container is available in the Active Directory and this will be holding the policies for the computers and the users. Group policy template. Once you create a group policy, it creates a template. So it will be easy for you to apply for many of the users by using the template. Group policy template, where it is stored? It is stored in the sysvol folder. So you can find it in the server, not in the desktop. How to create a group policy? You have to go to server console and open up the administrative tools, Active Directory computers, and there only you can create a group policy. What is no override option? So once you give no override option, so your policy cannot be overridden. So normally there will be some authorized policies available. So it used to override, right? So once you choose this option no override, this policy will be staying there for that particular user. Whatever domain policy you are setting, it will not work. So another question is, you have set the no override option at domain level and block inheritance at OE level. So domain is different, OE is different, right? Under domain only OE is coming. So domain is the bigger entity, OE is the smaller entity. So which policy will take effect? So if you are setting no override and block inheritance, always no override is taking the precedence because block inheritance will be taking later. What will you see in group policy snapping? So there are a lot of options that we have seen. What is the hierarchy of group policy? So local policy, site policy, domain policy, OE policy. This is the order the policy is getting implemented and taking the precedence. Who can create site level group policy? Enterprise admin. Who can create domain level policy? Domain admin. Who can create organization unit level policy? Domain admin. Who can create a local policy? Your desktop administrator or domain administrator. What is the refresh interval? 5 minutes to 45 minutes based on the size of the network, whether it is in intranet, internet, extranet. So it will take 45 minutes maximum. So why you have to control the desktop environment to have a uniform access for all the users and controlled desktop environment for all the users for installing the softwares. We use this. So next is what is a package that can be used. So it is a MSI package, Microsoft installation package. So how will you do a non-MSI software installation in GPU? By creating a ZAP extension, .zap extension, we can install the non-Microsoft softwares. How frequently the policy is refreshed? 90 minutes normally. So where is the security? Security is not available. It is a GPU update now. So these are the interview questions available for group policy related. You can just go through it. So we have reached the end of the topic and we have gone through about local policies and user related settings and what is that we can do minimum in the desktop side as an administrator and for controlling the user's environment. We have seen all this as a demo. We have reached the end of the topic. Thank you very much.